YouTube, I've come back to you. I've come back to you tonight with Ozzie Bricks. He was supposed to be the first person to have tea on this channel, but now he'll likely be the last. So Ozzie, thank you for coming on.
No problem.
We were supposed to face off tonight in a death match on Port City Bricks channel. Unfortunately, they had some things come up, and that'll be rescheduled to another date. But when we do, I just wanted to let you know before we go any further, I'm going to beat you, and I'm going to go full on Trump on you.
That's not a problem, because if you do beat me, maybe I let you beat me.
Oh, okay. Well, that might happen. So, Ozzie, thanks for joining me tonight.
No problem.
Coming on a little bit earlier.
All good.
You're rebuilding your city there. Before we get into that and your hatred for Jang Bricks, let's talk a little bit about your Lego life. How did you get into Lego? When did you start? When did you get back into it, if you got back into it? And how it sort of is integrated into your current life.
Okay. Yeah, I started when I was 5 years old. It's building. Actually, went straight into city building. My first set was a police station. Can't remember the set number. I should know it, but I can't remember it right now. And just went into my own Lego city phase. I had one table to work with. I had a car park, police station, fire station, and a motorbike shop that constantly got burgled by robbers, and the Lego City Police Department would successfully arrest them every single time. It was quite good, but that poor motorbike shop had quite a lot of fires and things like that, and burglaries. Wasn't a good city. High crime rate, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. And went through my dark ages probably around 11 years old, and from there got back into it just when my oldest daughter was born. Bought a Lego City Police Station for Christmas for her when she was 1 year old. So obviously she did. Of course I did.
Yeah.
I built it. I put it in her room. Then I realized, for a 1 year old to have Legos, with such fine little pieces, probably not a good idea. I decided that after she snorted a 1x1 round piece in her nose. So after plucking it out with tweezers, a Lego City was born in my garage, and it didn't take long before the collection grew out of hand.
So how do you, I know you had your city at your house originally, I believe, and then you moved it to your workplace, which I don't really get, but you can go into that. And then you moved it back to your house. You want to enlighten me as to how that happens?
Yeah, well, the house that I'm living in right now, we weren't living in, 4 or 5 years ago. We owned it, but we were renting it out to some tenants. And the house I was living in, we were actually in there with my grandmother. My grandmother lived downstairs and we were upstairs. My grandmother's got dementia. So I was basically there looking after her the entire time. And the Lego City was getting built in the garage of that house. And one day she went in there and just destroyed everything. Everything, just modulars, the lot, everything just.
Don't you wish you had that on video?
I you know what? So I do.
At the time, a video of your grandmother.
At the time, I didn't wish it, but now I do. Now that everything's fully repaired and everything like that, but yeah, it was quite a traumatic experience for me, and I moved it over to my work so that wouldn't happen again.
So what do you do for your work there, Ozzie? down in Australia. You're from Australia. I guess we're going backwards here. You're from
Yes,
Australia, some part of Australia. I think Sydney,
Sydney is
little
correct.
city
Yep.
in Australia. And you work somewhere. Where do you work? Or what do you do, rather?
Well, my status has actually changed at the moment. I've sold my business,
Oh,
so I've actually moved on from that, or I'm in the middle of moving on. I've got 28 days left before the handover is completely done. So I don't really want to talk about that part of the business, but the other thing that I do is I am a self-defense instructor. So I teach people how to defend themselves.
so can you go into specifics?
Yeah, I teach people how to defend against a knife, against a gun, against a shotgun, against a assault rifle. Teach in hostage situations, hand-to-hand combat, destroying someone with a stick, destroying someone just bare knuckles, dealing with multiple attackers, 5-on-1, 6-on-1, 7-on-1, whatever you want to, whatever the odds, we deal with it.
Good.
And
So tell me, how do people respond when you're a self-defense instructor and obviously teaching them to defend themselves against non-geeks, usually? How do people respond when you tell them you have a Lego city upstairs?
they're amazed. They're amazed because they're amazed because you know there's a softer side of me all of a sudden. You know, so it's that they realize that I'm a more complex human being than just a meathead.
Is that right? Is it?
Yeah. So
Was that
it's
behind the moving of the city to the office?
absolutely not. Absolutely not. The moving to the office was more because I need the stress relief. And sometimes like I'll have a really bad moment and I would have just locked myself in there and been in there for about 10, 20 minutes, worked on something, and then I'd come out of there and I'd be really in a happy place. Yeah, so that's the main reason. That was the main reason for it.
What do you think your coworkers thought of you when you went into the office and closed the door to play with Lego?
I didn't really care.
Okay.
Didn't really care. I'm the boss. What would I?
I just always wondered this. It's an interesting thing to some people. They're not, I certainly have no shame for my Lego hobby. It's not something that I advertise as I don't know. It'd be weird to have needing to explain that to every person.
Yeah, look. It is weird to explain it to everyone. It's weird to explain it to people that are new, that don't know it. Like, mind you, not everyone knows about it. Like some of my top students now know about it. The majority of my students in the school don't,
Right.
and it's none of their business really. But yeah, in relation to like now that it's at the house, when people come over, I find people that I work with are more open to it than people that I'm so-called friends with. People that I'm actually friends with, they're just in disbelief. Family friends, especially, like when I say family friends, friends that I'm forced to be friends with because
Right.
My other half is friends with them. So people like that, their husbands tend to be quite like. Keep in mind, because of what I do, people can be a little bit threatened, and like they feel a little demasculated being around me because they're like, okay, well, this guy can rip my head off if he wants to.
Sure.
And all of a sudden, they're given some ammunition, to here's something I can get at this guy. So I get these little snarky comments, and yeah, it's not a lot of fun just sitting there. doing it, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah. So, your city, you have a Lego city. How big is it?
Big.
What's the, so give me a stud count or a base plate count, 32 by 32.
No idea. I don't go into base plate counts, and that's simply because I don't like thinking about how much base plate counts mean that I know how much I spent. I start getting a good idea on how much. I don't like thinking that way. So I will tell you a different unit of measurement, which is, it is 20 adils, 20 limnons, sorry. So the limnon IKEA tables.
Oh, okay. So 20.
20.
I mean, my
20.
city back here is technically 3 tables, I guess. I guess it's relative, the size of the table.
A limnon is 1,000 by 600. So
centimeters.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Yeah, it's that funny Australian crap, metric crap.
We're in the future.
Yeah. So your city, you have a big city, and this is a non-custom city, so you're not like Jang Bricks having a 100% authentic custom city. But in your non-custom city, you have a lot of Lego modulars in there, I've seen, but you have a lot of mocks that you've built as well. What's the inspiration behind the mocks that you build, and what's the sort of, how do you come up with these ideas for your city? They're a little bit off the wall at times, and I'm not one to be talking, but what's your process?
Okay, the process is, like, I don't go on LDD and all that type of stuff and sit there designing things. I literally go, okay, I need a police station, and then I just start building it. I need a fire station, I'll start building it. I need a hospital, I'll start building it. It's out of necessity. I sit there thinking, okay, what does the city need? That's what it needs. Okay, I'll build it. I started with the mocks purely because I was so unhappy with Lego's answer for a hospital. That was actually the first time I started thinking about, okay, it's time I seriously start thinking about designing my own thing, because this is just terrible. I didn't like Lego's design. I didn't like what they gave us. It was too much of a play set. So I just went, you know what, it's time to do something about it. So built my own, and yeah, the rest is history. After that, the beginning of a slippery slope. The Avengers Tower, obviously.
No, was that one of your first mocks, the Avengers Tower, one of your first big mocks?
Yeah, that's the first big mock. Like, I can't lie there. That's the first big mock, and you know, like, if I refer to that as a big mock, everything else is just a very small mock. You know, the Avengers Tower took 8 months to build, so you know, a lot of brick, a lot of money, but a lot of fun.
And have you ever considered tearing down your Avengers Tower?
Yes, when I moved it here, the entire base of the tower actually came undone from the rest of the tower. So the rest of the tower kept its integrity, but the base actually shifted. And as I moved it, I couldn't put it down anymore. There was no way to safely put it down because the base plate and everything had shifted. So I had to put it on its side. As I put it on its side, the entire sides crumpled and everything caved in on itself. So I had to rebuild it. Only 3 levels actually kept their integrity. All the rest just, you know.
So when you had the opportunity to rebuild it, did you do anything to it? Did you make it better?
Yeah, I made some improvements. I made some structural improvements so that wouldn't happen again. Yeah. I fixed up the layout inside a little bit more to something that I thought worked. Because as you build modulars, like mocks, sorry, your techniques change over time. You know, your skills go up. You know, you see things in a different way. maybe the pieces that you have are a little bit better, later on. So you start thinking. So I made quite a few little changes, just little things that I'd notice. But if I ran the camera over it and people looked at it, they'd go, "Yeah, okay, I don't see anything different."
Sure.
But
Yeah.
I know it's done. So
you find yourself doing that with mini mocks in your city in the past, or is this the first one you've really revisited?
This is the first one I've really revisited. I revisited the fire station just recently and made a few changes. I've revisited the hospital, but the hospital was out of necessity because a bit of it got damaged, so I had to revisit that. But yeah, the Avengers Tower is probably the first one. Now that the project now is adding lights to the city. So I've bought all the lights. It's just, where do I put the power packs? Like, where does the power for these lights actually go? So that's my biggest hurdle right now. Where do these power packs go? Because I'm running. Yeah, I'm running the lights off USB.
Oh, that's awesome. Just okay. So take a I don't know how your tables are laid out. I can tell you how I do it. I have USB hubs at 3 locations along on the side of my table, basically, to plug into, mounted on the bottom of the table. Then I have rails running up, just DC lines I could tap into, unshielded underneath the base plates, running up with 12-volt or 5 volts of USB going over the rails. That's all I do. It works awesome. I just use I add in resistors, obviously, to equal whatever I stick onto the rails to be able to offset it. It's a very simple way of doing it. If you already have controllers, though, and you're just providing like 12-volt DC power, go ahead and just wire the thing, strip off all the battery packs and wire in 12-volt DC power from a transformer, chain it along there on 12-volt if they already have proper circuitry in them.
Yeah.
Really easy to make them AC, but get rid of the fucking power packs, dude. You don't want that shit.
Yeah, because what I've got is these like the USB battery cells.
Oh, those. Yeah, you don't want to deal with that, man.
Yeah.
It's just expensive over time. With USB, it makes it so much easier because you can just use USB hubs. Powered USB hubs are awesome. You just
that's what I was actually. That's what I was thinking. Get a 6-way hub or 8-way hub, and just having everything running into it, and turn on a switch, bang.
The Belkin 8-port ones I've had good luck with for powered. Powered ones are tricky. All the powered ones don't always deliver a clean 5 volts to all ports. Some of them only deliver power to half the ports and stuff. So you need to do your research on USB hubs, but otherwise it's I think just the Amazon basic ones work well too. I was using those initially downstairs. I don't have any lights in my city yet, really. I have a couple test ones, but I put all the rails down a while ago when I redid some base plates in my city, just so that they're ready for it.
Well, I've got quite a lot to work on with that, because it means obviously redoing some of the modulars, opening them up, running lights into them and all that type of stuff. But it's going to be a project that I'll probably visit maybe in a couple of months. I really want to finish off definitely the police station needs to be finished, because that's been a project that's been going on for way too long.
Yeah.
So it's getting there. It's getting there.
It looks sort of like looks familiar.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
It's Translight blue. Oh, it looks like the Avengers Tower. That's what it is.
Thought you were going to say something else.
No. Speaking of which, you hate Jang Bricks. So we weren't going to bring this up, but this is as good as time as any to bring it up. Hate is a strong word. I don't think you probably do care enough to hate, but
hate's a strong word. If I saw him walking along the street, I wouldn't go up and punch him.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like you're violently hate the guy. It's just you dislike Jang Brick's style or something he does. Can you elaborate on that just to clarify for everyone exactly what you don't like about
dislike his style. I don't dislike him as a builder because I think everyone has their own unique way of building, and that's what they do, and that's what they use, the tools that's available to them, and that's great. I don't care about that. All I care about is the fact that he models himself as someone who he isn't. And there's it's like this Zhang cult that's out there that believe that Zhang is all powerful and Zhang is the best person on the planet. Um, he's committing fraud. That's a fact. You know, the guy is sitting there on the bottom of every single one of his videos. He has written, you can go and buy all the Lego sets at the shop that I purchased from, which is this link down below. And it's an Amazon link. And it's an Amazon associate link, which means he gets paid every time someone clicks on it and then buys from that. But he doesn't declare what he's actually doing, which is what you're supposed to. Amazon's own policy is to declare that. You have to declare that.
Oh, that's actually a policy of Amazon or YouTube?
Yeah, I've looked into it. It's a policy of Amazon's.
I know you have to declare promotional, that you're doing something promotional-wise. I wasn't sure about associate or affiliate links and whatnot. I have seen people, though, mention that they, you know, the links they are putting down below are affiliate links.
You have to mention it. It's just that's the thing. And not to mention the fact that Google has their own policy, which means YouTube has their policy that you have to do the same thing. You've got to declare it. Now, obviously, with YouTube, who's going to police it? No one's really going to police that. So, you know, no one's really going to sit there bugging someone over that. But definitely with the Amazon thing, like that rubs me up the wrong way. I don't like that. I don't like the fact that he's saying, well, this is where I shop from. No, it isn't. You don't shop there. You get some of the sets for free. You go to Toys R Us or wherever else. I don't believe that he gets his sets at a shop. I personally don't believe that. I know there's people out there that probably think that he does, but I think there's a few sets that he probably gets given, which is great. You know, the guy's earned it. It's fine. He does what he needs to do. I've got an issue with, you know, someone saying, I get this set from here, and therefore, you know, if you want to get it from here, click on this link. At least tell people that you're getting paid for it.
Yeah.
You know, at least say that you're getting money from. Who cares? Who cares if you are? Power to you that you're getting paid for it. Just at least say it.
Yeah. I mean, every YouTuber gets paid, at least every YouTuber with a partner account gets paid by every single video. Yeah. It's the reason you're making videos usually. Well, not. I hope it's not the reason why a lot of us smaller YouTubers are making videos.
No, well, you're going to be a very sad person if that's. Or you're going to be very hungry.
So that being said, just you cleared that up. So name a build. I've watched some of Zhang's videos, and maybe I don't see, or I haven't picked up on what you've picked up on, because I don't think I've watched any of his haul videos or any of. I've only watched specific like mock videos of his, I think, and he doesn't really discuss any of that stuff in them.
What do you mean? It's in the description of every single video.
Oh yeah, I don't read descriptions.
Every single video, every single one.
I have a link to my Instagram account down below every video. You can click on that, and you can make me $0 internet dollars, because it doesn't matter how many Instagram followers you have, unless if you want to whore yourself out.
Look, it may be a completely honest mistake on his part. Maybe the guy has no business sense when it comes to that. Maybe he's an absolutely brilliant person, but I've found brilliant people in my life that are absolutely dumb as dog shit when it comes to certain things. Maybe he just doesn't understand that that is a fraudulent act. Maybe someone hasn't explained that to him yet. But
have you thought of reaching out to him in private and letting him know?
It's not my prerogative to. I don't care. I really don't care. You know, eventually it's going to bite him on the ass if he doesn't do anything about it. So I don't care. I'm sure there's enough people that know about it now that, I'm sure someone's reached out to him about it. The thing is, he doesn't listen to his fans. He doesn't listen to his fans anyway. So who's going to be able to reach him?
Yeah, I think I looked at the comments of one of his videos, and it was because based on people saying things about it. I don't know. I don't get recommended a lot of his videos, which is good. I watched a couple. I'm not a huge fan of his style sometimes. Some of his mocks are cool. His zoo is neat. The zoo that he did, that sort of thing is neat. I like some of them. Some of them seemed he overthinks it at times, it seems. And that's just a common thing for a lot of advanced builders. It's a common problem. I overthink things way too much and end up rebuilding things 50 times instead of
I've had that conversation with Bruce with Down Under Bricks. We've had the conversation heaps of times about, where do you draw the line with an interior? Because an interior it's never ending. You can keep on going and going and going, and well, really, how deep are your pockets? Because that's how far you can go with an interior for a building. So I go very Spartan. I try not to go that well into detail.
You go like Lego level of detail, right? Lego module level.
I'm happy. It's good enough for Lego. It's good enough for me. Bang. Yeah. That's where I go. And I see some guys and they go mental with it. And great, power to them. I do not have that money. I don't have that money to spend on something with that much detail that no one's going to see.
I think you spend as much money as a lot of those guys who do a lot of detail. It's just spend on different things.
Yeah, it's just that I want to see more buildings in my city. That's why.
I gotcha. Yeah, I personally, I mean, I have less buildings than you do, I'm sure, in my city. I have a lot more textured.
That looks pretty full on. Let's put it to a vote. I'm not even in the chat right now, so I don't even know what people are saying. But let's put it to a vote. I reckon you've got more buildings.
I might, but the point being, I spend more time on texturing terrain and actually filling in the areas around. Actually, I've been removing buildings lately and just scrapping them because I don't want them there. They don't make sense from a logical perspective. I don't want to. The more that I build on the city, the more I think that the cliche Lego City overly populated thing is really dumb. And I don't like it because you can build some really amazing looking scenes with like forests and everything if you build them. If you step back and instead of trying to fit everything in there, choose what needs to be in there. Not try to, don't use a process of elimination, use a process of addition to build a scene. And I'm just not a big fan of these overly populated city trying to cram every bit of detail into every inch for whatever reason.
You must hate my city then. Because you just described my city.
No, there's other people who are much worse than you. You're not that bad with that. You have full sidewalks that don't have like a stand on every single corner.
No, but I've got a city full of cars.
Yeah.
I've got an airport full of planes.
But you also are adding, so the flip side of that is if you're going to populate that much, do you have the standard, do you actually have streetlights? Do you have that level of detail, or streetlight level of detail, I'd call it? Do you have flower boxes, streetlights, fountains, that sort of thing, what you would have in a cityscape? And if it's metropolitan or urban cityscape, it might have none of those things.
Not yet. Not yet. I don't have street lights that are working, but I do have street lights. But I don't have street lights that are working.
So what's your with your city, you're lighting it. Is it going to be? Is your default display going to be at night? Is it going to be at dusk? You need to design it for a view. What do you picture when you see your city with the lights?
Look, I want the city to look good at every angle. So it doesn't matter whether I'm looking at it from the airport. Doesn't matter if I'm looking at it from this is why I'm really digging that room that it's in right now, because it's not like all the other Lego City updates that I did where I'm sitting there at that one corner and I'm just sitting there going, "Hey guys, Ozzie Bricks here. Let's start at the harbour again." No, I want to be able to. I want the city to look good everywhere. I don't want there to be a forgotten corner of detail, which
Right.
pretty much everyone's city has. You know,
No, I'm the exact same way. I have every single I may not have it overly populated, but I do the exact same thing. I have to look at it from every single angle and make sure that it looks okay. It would be too much to have a blank.
I want it to be. Yeah, I basically want it to be, to quote Brick Adjuster, display worthy everywhere. That's what I want out of the city. Hopefully it's doing that at the moment, but it's still early stages. Don't forget, I just moved that entire city only, what was it, 15 days ago?
So what are you doing next with it, Ben? What is your you talked about the lighting, but aside from the lighting, you've advanced as a builder. So you look at it, I love the fact that you're moving your city. It's awesome because it gives you a chance to reevaluate what you've done based on your current knowledge and your current abilities. And I know if I did that every 2 months, I would want to rebuild the city, or every 3 months. So you have a very awesome opportunity in that, but what are you doing with it? What things have you changed fundamentally about how your city is constructed based on what you learned? What are those tidbits of knowledge?
I've got a double rail track at the moment, which I didn't have before. So there's a double rail track running around the whole city. So the city's going to be very train focused. That's going to be a problem later on because I know I'm going to run out of space because of those tracks, but you know, it is what it is. I'm going to be integrating the mountain, and the mountain, now I've got, these are all rock pieces right here.
Burps? Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so I've got,
I have a bin about that size as well for a mountain.
I got heaps of them, so I'm excited about using them. I'm really excited about using them and actually completing the mountain.
You have all the 2x2 and 2x3 and 2x4 bricks to actually be able to build with those.
Yeah,
correct.
I do, because that mountain that was there in the old city, that was all brick. There was no burps and.
Oh, nice. So you're able to lower your piece count. That was a big thing I know that I did whenever I rebuild something, is I end up lowering the piece count by at least half of any building that I built, because I build the same way you do. I just go at it and I build it up. And sometimes that means it has a lot of mistakes in it that were sort of patched over, using very effectively.
My big thing at the moment is getting big pieces, like getting the panels. Like I really dig these panels. These panels like build up a modular real quick.
You know what? I went through a phase, probably a year's phase, where you could probably go back on my channel and see hauls where I bought hundreds and hundreds of those panels, and I used so many of them, hundreds of them in the city. Now I have containers or drawers that are neatly stacked with lines in them, completely full of those 1x6x5 panels in various trans colors. They are great. However, I found that I've almost grown out of using them, except for rarely, like in a storefront reversed. They could make some awesome, depth and perspective, but they look so plastic when used in the Lego style at times.
Yeah, my main thing is like using those panels for the side walls and the back walls that aren't going to be seen. So the walls that you're going to immediately have another building next to it. Like it just doesn't matter. You just need something to fill up. And
yeah, I've thought about it for that purpose, and I could save a lot of brick if I did that.
Yeah, and the reason why I sit there thinking that, and look, again, like you have your building style because of what you have available to you. I've got my building style because of what I have available to me. There's no Lego store near me. There's actually no even gimmick Lego store that has a so-called pick a brick wall. That there's nothing near me really. So
to be fair, few, if any, elements in my collection have come from that are actually in the city have come from the pick-a-brick wall, with the exception of some plates for texturing. Like I think some brown plates in the past were on the pick-a-brick wall. I absolutely bought a ton of them, and those are in the city. But I don't think I found any utilitarian pieces that I really ended up using a lot of. I have a ton of cups under my table, sealed still, with sand grain elements that I will never use, that for whatever reason I just had to buy because, you know, sand grain on the wall, you got to buy it. And I have a bunch of cups, and I have no use for those elements. If they're in 1x4s, then, you know, we'd be talking.
Yeah, my brother actually bought me one of those cups.
Yeah.
I'm actually looking at it. I got no idea what I'm going to use it for.
You can't do with the elements they put on there, and good for Lego for doing it. At the end of the day, they work for accents. They can work for accents. You can sort of work them in. If you try to build anything with them properly and you don't use it as an accent color, with the exception of some small builds, it's going to look horrible. It just isn't going to look right. It's going to look like a building built out of 1x1 bricks, 1x1 and bricks and 1x2 plates to bridge them together.
Yeah, I think I might use them as a toilet for a pub or something. That's probably about it.
I still haven't found a use for any of them, but they you know, they sit under my table and they're good for that. Oh, and like 1x4 white plates. I mean, sure, you'd use them. Do I have a use for this many 1x4 white plates? Multiple cups full? No.
I have a definite use for them,
but I don't. 4 white plates?
Yeah, and I'm always running out.
Oh, you know what? I still have a bunch stockpiled up. I'll hit you up after.
That's right.
But yeah, I really don't. The majority of my bricks come from Bricklink. I definitely bargain shop on Bricklink, and I buy in bulk.
Yeah, look, I buy on Bricklink as well, but again, like the shipping, like what I pay on shipping and what you pay on shipping, two different things.
True.
You know, so there's one guy, I forget what his, I think it's AFOL store or something like that, based in the Netherlands, and he does free shipping for orders over 250 euros. So I'll buy a big Bricklink order from him. You know, it makes it worthwhile. So yeah, so I normally buy from him. He actually supplied all the bricks for the airport.
So how did that work? Did you give him a list of what you needed and he fulfilled them, or?
No, I went through. I put the part list that I needed for the airport on Bricklink, and I had a look at how many stores would be able to fulfill close to 100% of that part list, and he came in at 92%. I'm like, well,
amazing.
So look, there were a lot of other stores that came in at 100%, but he came in at 92, and the reason why I looked at him was because there were other stores, like there was one store in the US that wanted to charge me $400 for shipping. You know, there was another store in Portugal that wanted to charge me a ridiculous amount for shipping. I can't remember how much it was, but it was ridiculous. I'm pretty sure it was in very close to the 4 digits for shipping. And then there was this guy. And even though his prices were a little bit more expensive, I went, okay, I can use this guy. The parts are all brand new, and the guy's going to do free shipping. Well, I appreciate that. Done. So I did it. And not only did I do it, the guy sent me everything, and he gave me some freebies too. So I was pretty happy.
Cool.
So since then, I've been using him all the time.
Yeah, I don't I have some regular sellers that I go to, but don't really have any. I don't buy a lot of brick these days, I guess. Don't have that go-to person anymore. I used to use big bricks like that, but I just don't have the need for a go-to Lego person or Lego seller anymore, I guess.
Yeah, there comes a time when your brick collection is pretty good, and you're like, yeah, I can probably get around it.
Yeah, absolutely. When I realized that, like, I sloshed through a bin of 2 by and smaller dark blue gray plates, a 15-gallon bin of them, sloshing through them, and then I'm like, oh, I need some more 1x2 plates, and then I realized I have multiple cups sitting under the table of 1x2 dark blue gray plates already, and I just go grab a cup and dump it in there, and oh, look at it, it's all fixed. It's
There you go.
I bought a lot last year, I think, or 2 years ago.
There you go. Again with the cup. Again, throwing it in my face that you've got cups.
I do have cups, but you know what? Most of those cups are just used for storing overflow of elements that were never on the pick-a-brick wall. I find them useful, stacking onto shelves in between, fitting into places. So what's next in the city? What are you actually building next, establishment-wise? You have a lot of colorful establishments.
Yes. Look, legal or illegal?
Let's go with illegal. What's your next illegal? Legal, obviously, the police station you're finishing up that you've been doing live builds on, which you can go back onto Ozzie Bricks' channel and check those out. I might put a link to his channel in the card if I remember to. And but what illegal establishment are you currently working on?
Well, it's only in plan stage. I'm not working on it. Working on it is a bit rich to say working on, but in plan stage, I'm considering, or not considering, I definitely need it. It's just going to be a while. I want to do an ice den.
A what?
An ice den. So an ice addict den. So
ice. So meth, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. They don't call it ice back here. We just call it meth.
Oh, okay. We call it ice, but okay.
Meth and speed. Speed is the equivalent of ice, what you guys call ice, I guess. So you're gonna do an ice den.
Yeah.
What do you have you ever seen a meth den? I'll ask you that, like firsthand. Have you ever visited and frequented a meth den?
I have never frequented one, but I have actually been in a building that was being used as a meth den.
So a building. And was it actively being used at the time, or was it being used in the past when you went through it?
It was actively being used at the time, and I was there to assist in clearing the building.
Oh, nice. So you have one example. Are you going based on that example? Is that where your inspiration coming from, or are you Googling images? Is it going straight from your brain? Is it just coming from your imagination? This is what a meth den should look like. So that's the direction I'd go. I wouldn't try to go realistic. I just think
I'm not trying to go realistic. I'm just trying to picture this is what a meth den should look like. And
like what should a meth kitchen look like? It should look like a down your kitchen making meth.
Yeah. And the reason why I really want to do this is because I'm imagining that the interior is going to be so easy to do, because all I need to do is just sprinkle like my little parts bin, all the spare city parts.
To have rubbish all over the floor.
Just make it look like garbage. And
so you know what? You'd be surprised with how hard that is to make garbage, to make areas look like they genuinely have garbage scattered through them. You have to do little piles and everything. I've been going down this route for a while now, and it is not an easy thing. I still haven't figured it out.
Oh, I know I'm regretting. I know I'm probably going to regret it,
but you're gonna pour down those bricks, and then you're gonna pick them right back up because they're gonna look like crap, and you're not gonna be happy with them, and then you're gonna start building little piles of trash, and then try to like sprinkle on the trash elsewhere. And it's a whole process. It'll be fun.
Yeah, I can imagine that happening. But,
yeah. So I'm gonna go to chat here, and I haven't been looking at and see see what people are saying. We have, I believe we have one person watching, which is awesome. It's Ralph DeBrule. And Ralph has been the only person watching the entire time. That's cool.
Fantastic.
He wants to know when your adult video store is coming.
That's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea, but I don't actually frequent an adult video store to actually know what they look like. So,
but you do frequent a meth den enough to know what it looks like to build that.
There are enough Disney movies out there that will tell me what a meth den looks like.
Oh, look, there's more people there. Never mind. I was wrong. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, pick a brick wall and stuff. So, Ozzie, if you had to stop building on your city or if you had the opportunity to build things other than your city, what would you build? I mean, what would you venture into Lego wise? What interests you?
Okay, so we're definitely talking about Lego.
Yes, Lego.
Look, I'd probably, I don't know, probably go into dioramas of Star Wars or something like that, or maybe Nexo Nights just to piss everyone off.
So you'd go back into dioramas.
Yeah.
Build like scenes with action and people, like.
Yeah, pretty much Ozzie Bricks City, but
but in diorama form.
Yeah. I'll tell you the truth. I've been a city builder all the way. It's just not going to happen. The thoughts never entered my mind. It's
never entered your mind to build something else.
No.
Even to support the city.
Nope.
Nope.
Nope. Always been a city builder. That's not going to change.
You're boring.
I am. I'm plain old vanilla.
That's what it is. That's cool. So, people, this is Ozzie Bricks. He is a Lego builder that plays with Lego on the internet and makes videos about it and uses that as an excuse to do that instead of spending time with his kids. So check him out. I'm going to put a link to his channel. And thanks for watching. Bye.